Hey there everyone, this is Jeremy, the Music Andy, and we're here today to talk about Weatherglow. It is a collaborative EP from Weatherday and Asian Glow. Like I was saying, this is a collab EP, album, whatever you want to call it. It has 6 tracks, about 24 minutes in length, and it is coming from 2 artists that I absolutely love. They had some of the best music that I heard last year being released in the forms of EPs and albums. Weatherday, aka Sputnik, and all the aliases that they're known for. Love all of the stuff that they make. Asian Glow had the EP part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Still, which was my favorite EP from last year. I knew that diving into this, I was going to get a treat, and boy oh boy, did Jeremy get a treat. I had no fear for these two to be collaborating together. They both make music that are very much in the same neighborhood, the same cul-de-sac, the same hallway. It's they're knocking on the door of lo-fi rock, emo, noise pop, indie-tronica, shoegaze, that kind of stuff. They both have lyrics that are very personal to them. They are very abstract in the way that they approach it. They're very poetic with their singing and their writing, and I just am a big fan not only of the instrumentals, but again, the lyrics and the vocal deliveries from them. It probably sounds like a biased review going into this, but I try to, with each piece of music, each piece of art somebody creates, I try to push my personal feelings aside and listen to it and what I think of that music. I just do not think that these two are going to let me down, because they really haven't let me down so far. These aren't 2 artists that I just think that I really like the genres that they're in. I just think that they're some of the 2 most creative songwriters that we have currently in music right now. Both of them are very heavily inspired artists that take influences and just heavily put them and place them all together, but still sound completely unique and true to themselves, and I can always identify when it's their music. Both of them are very experimental in song structuring, rhythms, melodies, tones, the way that they use dynamic changes in their track, the momentum that's built, the energy that is brought. It's just so good. It's so unique. It's so creative. I love it. So with all that being said, I'm going to shut the hell up and we're going to talk about Weatherglow. Starting off this 6-song journey, we have Melt-A-Bed, which offers lyrics instantly that sent me into an existential crisis, talking about how we are just the clothes on our skin, everything is randomized, and that is true. The choices that we make, the free will that we have, it's all very random, and the atom and the makeups that we have is also randomized. Again, it just sent me into an existential crisis. I went into the corner for a little bit, I thought for a little bit, I came back. And I make it sound a lot worse than it is, because the way that these 2 present their music, they can be very, aggressive, very hillish obstacles that they're trying to climb and trying to present, and again, like I said, in a very poetic way. But they're very guiding. They very much hold your hand through the track and tell you that you are not alone in this. Do not feel alone. Everybody's going through this. We all feel this way. This track instrumentally starts off with a big bang. It's a very dynamic track. Big beginning, soft, big, soft, loud, soft. It kind of has that bit of a dance, but it is still done in the fashion that these 2 have with song structuring. Everything is fresh, it's new, it's constantly finding new footing, new rhythms, new melodies, new tones that it wants to introduce. It can be super engaging, and then it can be super distant at other times. I just love the way that they're presenting this, and they're doing it in a fantastic way right in the beginning. But to be honest with you, compared to the rest of this EP album, this collaboration, this track doesn't really hold a torch to the others, for me at least. Clockwalk Around the Ache is a track that has a very deep, constant groove to it to start this off. Really makes it feel like everything is kind of slowing down around me. This hazy guitar comes slinking in, and it's just pure ear candy. The heavy, distorted, fuzzy bass on it sounds a lot like Have a Nice Life, and I'm not going to complain about that at all. The vocal melodies are presented in an emo way, spiced with those, aching cries. Really adds another layer of chaos to this very slow, frenzying buildup of instrumentation. Lyrics of trying to find love and match that time between each other. That's often hard to do with love. It's done very poetically. It's very moving in this track. I love the writing on this. This is probably altogether, with everything considered, one of my favorite tracks on this one. Super engaging, fun to listen through. When you get diving into the lyrics, it really stops and make you think. It's a very poetic piece, like I said. Great writing all the way around. Fantastic track. center starts off, and I almost thought that it was going to be a hardcore break track for a second. But once the instruments find their footing, we get a lot of that shoegazy, that indie, that noise pop feelings, and the vocals are very dreamy, they're very sleepy. It's like you take the instruments of Yuck, and then you take the vocals of Beach House, and then you put them together. Going more onto the Yuck, the guitar that kind of is the lead kind of catching piece on this one sounds a lot like the track Getaway, but it's done in a lot more of a slowed approach, a lot more hazy, a lot more trippy approach. And ultimately, it starts getting caught up in this very chaotic, frenzied environment. This synth is raining from the skies like hail on a roof. It's super chaotic. The drums are losing their mind, and the bass is very prominent. The ending lyrics are done fantastically, reflecting on past situations that if you've done something, would something else have happened in result of that. A comparison of leaving your jacket inside is reflecting back to the artist saying that being out in the sun was very, dizzying. It was disorienting. It was very painful on the eyes. So that jacket is something that you kind of put on to shield yourself. And what happened if they would have just left that jacket inside instead of, always going out defending yourself, putting up protection? I think that these are very relatable lyrics. I definitely understand what they're talking about. We don't always put our best foot forward. We don't always be true to ourselves. Sometimes we are very shellish and we kind of hide ourselves and who we are from others. This is a very dynamic track. It is super soft in the beginning and then just fiery explosions of destruction happening. Your head's moving all around. You're very frenzied. You're confused, but it's very overwhelming and it's very nice. Lyrically, I cannot really get a gauge on this. I can't find the true overarching theme of this one. There's a lot of different themes that are and ideas that are being talked about. Walking past things, overlooking what's going on, going through life and reaching all of these awful climaxes, not really having a sense of direction or anything pulling you in life. It's all over the place, but I'm sure that there is something connecting them all and I'm just not seeing it. But still, it is still written very well. As I said before, Clockwalk Around the Ache was my favorite one, and this track is probably my second favorite one. The final two that we have coming up, though, are definitely no sleepers by any means. Look Alive Sunshine has some very Animal Collective vocals going on with the way that they're trying to harmonize, the way that they're just approaching it, being very experimental with the vocals, very playful with it. The track, once it finds the railings, it's just a constantly chugging, adrenaline pacing track that's very danceable. Like I was saying, it is full of adrenaline, but still at the same time, the vocals are just very soft whispers of sweet nothing into your ear. This is one of the shortest tracks that is on this collaboration. Once it's all laid out, it just is kind of there and it's just going to play out and you're going to dance and you're going to have a good time to it. And does that sound good? Because it sounds kind of good to me. Lastly and sadly, we have the final track, Jet, which is a lot more of an emo math rocky track. It has a very trippy midsection on it. And then it just kind of farts out at the end with this guitar, farting around, having a good time. There's nothing wrong with farting around and having a good time, but I was looking for a little bit more of a payoff at the end of this one, and it just was much more of a gentle, tucking you in, kissing you on the forehead kind of thing, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all, but I just kind of want to get punched in the face at the end of this, and I didn't get punched in the face, but that's okay. Overall, though, I love this collaboration. I often go into collaborations fearful because of one artist kind of being the over-dominating one, and they're the ones that's kind of pushing it in the direction, and they're both, kind of having a competition on whose personality is going to come through in a track. But with this collaboration, there's no competition at all. They are both in unison at the same time. There's no, okay, you play now, now I play, now you play now it's my style. Their styles are incorporated together so well, and it's just seamless of a listen, knowing both of the artists. These two made something that is very, again, progressive, evolving piece of art. It has a lot of poetry, a lot of nice lyricism, well written, very fragile topics. This is an easy 8.8 Lunas out of 10. What did you think of this collaboration? What would you like me to review in the future? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Subscribe if you like the content. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Please check this out.